Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer courtesy of Matt. Thank you so much. This is Kane's Head High. So this is one of their IPAs. They've definitely changed the recipe around. Yeah, this used to be like a non-hazy-ish kind of beer. I do remember visiting the brewery, by the way. This is in Ocean, New Jersey. What was I visiting? I forget. I was driving through New Jersey for some reason. I know them for their barrel-aged stouts and their dark beers. Absolutely amazing. They're in this kind of like industrial complex where like it's just like buildings and road, right? And then like there's like a big parking lot, whatever. And one door is like a dentist's office, and then you go into like the right side, and it's like a brewery. You sort of walk in, looks a little bit like an office, and then they have a big tap room with like the barrels and all that stuff, and it's like high ceilings, like warehouse brewery style, right? So good memories. It's been a while since I've been there, but let's check this guy out. I've actually had this more recently than later because of Matt. So 6.6%, their flagship IPA. Beer comes in a really nice kind of like a medium gold color, light to medium gold. Nice haze to that kind of like medium-ish kind of haze. Looks like store haze, if that makes any sense. Yeah, supermarket haze. Yeah. It smells better than that. Quite nice. Pineapple, mango, oranges. Smells like the color. It's all orange and yellow fruit. Like, oof, pretty nice. A little bit of like light, sticky, danky character in there, playing with that mango. Something about like a little bit of dankness with that kind of like mango goes really well, because like I think mango has a little bit of that kind of like green edge to it sometimes, especially when you like rip into the pithy part by the skin, and that has a little bit of that kind of vegetal greenness. But that's really beautiful. Just super ripe. Smells awesome. Cheers. Only 6.6, not a huge beer. Ooh, yeah, nice. So it still has a little bit of this kind of OG character to it. How do I describe the OG character? Wow. What is in that? It's got this little bit of aqueousness to it with a kind of like fleshy orange and orange candied sweetness, without really too much stickingly sweetness to it. So it's not like sticky, chewy, hazy to it. So it's somewhere around this kind of like East Coast meets West Coast kind of vibe, like New England meets West Coast kind of vibe to it. Juicy, sticky, pineapple, mangoes for days, a little bit of this kind of good amount of the juicy orange character, light biscuity malt character, some white breadiness. A nice solid bitterness too comes in, a little bit of grapefruit pithiness and orange peel pithiness. But then it has a kind of like general vibe of a little bit of pine too. And then there's just this kind of like light biscuity, orangey, green pine sweetness that just reminds me a lot about IPAs back in 2015. Like a lot of IPAs, like even like hazy adjacent beers, even hazy-ish beers, hazy beers had this kind of vibe. They weren't thick chew bombs like they used to be before. So this honestly is a little bit of a callback. This might be what hazy beers tasted like in 2015. Yeah, it's really fun. Decades old recipe, I guess. Huh? But they've changed the beer for sure. Like I think this used to be a clear beer. Hell, I'll post a video but the beer actually tastes pretty old, recipe wise. It's actually quite fresh, obviously. Jesus Christ, this was canned. Well, not that fresh. 3 weeks ago. So, real good. Just a solid banger, right? Pretty aromatics, hazy flavors, but nothing too sticky. A little bit of bitterness. 6.6 really drinks with a great mouthfeel too. Doesn't have, right? Sometimes the problem with 6.6 hazy adjacent beers, they just end up very watery. This solidly drinks like a 7% beer. So a little bit of bitterness without the haze chewiness, but it has haze aromatics. Pull back on the bitterness. This is what hazy beer tasted like a decade ago, for sure. So really fun. I very much enjoy that. 96. This is what the good stuff used to taste like. It is very good, though. Honestly, super crushable. I might drink more of this. 97 minus. 97 minus. That is really good. I really like this guy. I wish more beers were like this, where like again, I like the range of everything. And obviously like the boutique super hazy juicy bombs to do. I like the West Coast dry ones, but then I want some bitterness there. You know, I'm very picky about how beers make sense in my world. I guess I'm being picky, but this one makes some more sense to me. This is what hazy beer used to taste like, and it doesn't have to go all the way with the haze. It doesn't have to go all the way with the juiciness and the thickness of the chew mouthfeel, but it has a little bit of bitterness to it. It has a nice drinkability to it, but it also has a punchy hop character that this style sort of deserves when you're trying to do something hazy-ish and push on the citrus and tropical. So fantastic. This is a I'll have to check out my old review of this, but this is very surprising. I don't remember this beer tasting this good. Cheers later.